Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal are going into a very important summer as Mikel Arteta's project gets into phase 5. The manager said he's very excited about the prospects of what Arsenal can do in this summer, and Arsenal have already finished their first signing of the summer in Martin Zubimendi. However, that is not the end. They're looking to sign Victor Gyökeres. They're looking to sign other players in wide areas at left back and centre back as well. So if Arsenal signed every player out there that they wanted, how will Arsenal line up next season? One thing is for sure, change is inevitable. Mikel Arteta wants to improve his attack, he wants to improve his midfield, and hopefully he wants to improve his backline as well. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. What is the starting 11 that you'd love to see Arsenal put up next season? What is the aim of Arsenal next season? Winning the Champions League, winning the Premier League, or winning both of them? Let me know as an Arsenal fan in the comment box below. What is your goal? What is your ambition come next campaign? So in terms of the starting 11 that we might see at Arsenal, this is really going to depend on departures and incomings, and it's also going to depend on the budget that the club will have. But in goal, I think we shall see David Raya stay in goal. He's got the shirt number 1 from the shirt number 22. 22 goes to Ethan Nwaneri, and shirt number 1 goes to David Raya. And I think it's going to be a massive change in terms of giving David Raya the confidence, but of course he stays as the main goalkeeper at Arsenal. Mikel Arteta is looking to bring in a new goalkeeper to fight and compete with David Raya, and that could be Joan Garcia at Espanyol. He's been reportedly very close to joining Arsenal by the Telegraph, and Andrea Bata wants to get that deal done if we cannot find a better option. Now, I think Arsenal right now have one of the best goalkeeping departments in the world with Nobato Neto, David Raya, and Tommy Setford. But if you bring in a player like Joan Garcia, it's even gonna be better. It's gonna push David Raya to be a much better goalkeeper. But like we've seen in the Champions League this season, Raya is world class. He's one of the goalkeepers that I believe in the next 5 years, he's going to be one of the most talked about goalkeepers. Very good with his feet, very good with his gloves as well and his hands. He can make a last minute save. Very good at sweeping as well. So for me, David Raya stays in goal. Even if Arsenal have a lot of money, I don't think you find a better goalkeeper than David Raya come next season. Well, at right back, it's going to be kind of a debate. Do we go back to Julian Timber or do we go back with Benjamin White? Timber's played a lot of the time this campaign. And of course, you've had Benjamin White injured, but he played a lot at right back the season before that. So do you play right back Julian Timber for a second season consecutive, or do you play Ben White because he will be fit and his partnership with Odegaard and Bukayo Saka is really important to this Arsenal team on the right-hand side. Now, the problem with playing White is that Julian Timber will have to play a third season in a different position. In his first season, obviously, he came in at left back, and then when he was okay, he played at left back. This season, he's played at right back, and next season, if we shift him again, it might be disruptive to his development as a player. But I really think that Julian Timber merits playing at right back. So we shall see Timber play at right back for Arsenal. I don't think we are going to see any problems right about there. And he deserves to be there. If you think about the most consistent players at Arsenal this campaign, the players that deserve enough credit, a lot of credit, Julian Timber, for me, he's absolutely there. He's one of those players that have really done very, very well. And he's also a world-class defender. I think it's one of the things that Arsenal get. A very comfortable player on the ball, but also a very comfortable player defensively. I think in all the games that we have seen him this campaign, against PSG, against Real Madrid, he's gone against high quality opposition and he has always come out on top. Now, of course, there are a few games where you might say, he didn't, play his best, or he didn't have his best game. But most of his ratings are 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10, and he's a player Mikel Arteta can trust. In possession, you can trust him. out of position, you can trust him as well. So I can see Julian Timber becoming Arsenal's right back in the long term, and then maybe Benjamin White becoming the backup to Saliba and Julian Timber. At left back, Arsenal are looking to sign a new left back. Of course, you have Ricardo Calafiori there. You have Lewis Kelly there. You have Julian Timber can play there. Tomiyasu as well. But we're going to see a couple of departures. Alexander Zinchenko is leaving. And we are also having a departure in Kerenziani. So Arteta wants a new left back. But I don't think it's because of the departures. I think Arteta wants someone who is a little bit different. And if you're going to use Julian Timber on the right-hand side, Timber is not this up and down bombing right back. He's actually one that prefers to tuck into the midfield and do his business right from there. So I think Arsenal then can get player on at left back that can bomb up and down the pitch, and that could be Milos Kerkez. He's been linked with Arsenal for quite some time now, and I think there is a very good reason. So for me, I won't be surprised if Arsenal go out there in the summer and get Milos Kerkez at Bournemouth. He's one of the players that are creating good chances, for their teams. Bournemouth have had a very good season, and Milos Kerkez has had a very good season as well. He's got the energy. Defensively, he's okay. His attacking game is very, very late. I think Mikel Arteta is looking at it and is like, what if I get a player like Milos Kerkez and then I have a reserved Julian Timber at right back? Then at centre back, I think we won't see any changes unless there is a big injury or a big sell. We shall see William Saliba staying at right centre back. He's had quite, I would say, a mixed season. I mean, a few people have said that Saliba's had a bad season, but I don't think he's had a bad season. He has just had kind of a mixed season. He has had good games and bad games. And I think Gabriel, who has been his partner whole season, has had a much better campaign. And that's why a few people are saying, Saliba's had a bad campaign. I think Gabriel has had just a good campaign. And for us to compare these two, at times it's a little bit unfair, right? I think Gabriel has had a good campaign, quite a campaign, but that doesn't mean necessarily that Saliba has had a bad campaign. So that could be the back four that we see at Arsenal, but obviously you can have Ricardo Calafiori come in there, you can have Lewis Kelly come in there, you can have a couple of options as well. Now, in midfield, the biggest of changes has already come around. Arsenal have signed Martin Zubimendi, and Martin Zubimendi is such an intelligent option. He's such an intelligent player. I think we are going to see more and more changes to that Arsenal midfield with the arrival of Martin Zubimendi. So the first change that Mikel Arteta is going to make in this midfield is adding Martin Zubimendi to this team. And of course, that means that Thomas Partey and Jorginho are both leaving the first 11. Partey might stay, but he's not going to be playing every single week. Martin Zubimendi is going to be taking up that role. And for me, I think Zubimendi is a Mikel Arteta player. The way he wins the ball, I think that's what Mikel wants. Can we win the ball back without having a lot of fouls? Can we win the ball back without committing a lot of fouls? Because if you commit a foul, you're giving the other team the advantage. And that is why Mikel is so in love with Thomas Partey, right? Because Partey wins the ball back without necessarily giving away a foul. He's one of those players that will win the ball back and, he won't give away a foul. So Martin Zubimendi coming in means that everything has to change, and Partey and Jorginho are the first casualties of that change. Alongside him is going to be Declan Rice. And Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi are going to work very well together. And the reason for that, their profiles are very, very different. Like, Partey and Rice are kind of different. They are very different. But Zubimendi and Rice are quite different players. In fact, if you think about Martin Zubimendi, you think about a player who is, just good at passing. He really, utilizes passing of his game so highly. And you think about Declan Rice, it's energy and dribbling. He's one of those players, he's the traditional number 8, Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard. post scores, that kind of player. His energy, his bumping up, up and down the pitch. He's got that energy, and I think he will help out Martin Zubimendi a lot, because Zubimendi is one of those players that can't be everywhere. Declan Rice is the player that can actually be everywhere. And this pivot, in this midfield pivot, for me, in Europe, this is one of the best. Zubimendi alongside Declan Rice is one of the best midfield pivots you can have out there. So we also have Mikel Arteta having Martin Odegaard. And a few people are frustrated with Martin Odegaard. He's had a bad season. But I think Odegaard is Mikel Arteta's man. There is no way Odegaard is going to be ever dropped from this Arsenal team. So Odegaard could be that number 10 the Arsenal want, because they're looking to sign a striker. So he could be that number 10. He might play a little bit further forward with Declan Rice already bumping forward. We might see Odegaard pushed a little bit further forward. You have Declan Rice in the 8, Zubimendi in the 6, and maybe Odegaard just becoming that 10. Maybe he's not creating enough because he doesn't have a striker, but also maybe he's just playing a little bit further away from goal. If we played Odegaard a little bit in front in advanced areas, could we get a much better Odegaard? Could we get much better creativity out of him? Possibly. So what we have seen before, and this was against FC Porto last season, we saw Martin Odegaard committed just to the final third, and the numbers were crazy. He created a lot of chances. He assisted Leandro Trossard for the equalizer. It was a beautiful game. It was a beautiful performance from Martin Odegaard. So we might see Odegaard pushed up a little bit further forward into that number 10, where many Arsenal fans think he should be playing. Away from that, Arsenal are looking to add a striker, right? So with Odegaard now in the 10, Arsenal could have a supplier for their new striker, and the striker is likely to be Victor Gyökeres, and for me, one of the best out there. 95 goals in 100 appearances for Sporting Lisbon. You can't ask for better than this. You can't ask for better numbers from this guy. He's absolutely elite. He is absolutely sensational. So that might be, this might work like this. You have Martin Odegaard working a little bit behind Victor Gyökeres as your main 9, and then of course you've got Odegaard just behind him as the 10. And that midfield and the attack led by Victor Gyökeres is going to be absolutely deadly. Of course, Bukayo Saka is the other player that Arsenal are not going to do away with. One of the best in the world in his position. He provides a lot of quality at Arsenal. Whenever he's in this Arsenal team, he really performs. So you're gonna have Bukayo Saka a little bit advanced. He's gonna be he's your right winger, inverted, scoring goals, creating chances. Whenever he's in this Arsenal team, something is bound to happen. But what about on the left wing? We are hearing that Arsenal are willing to let go of Trossard, willing to let go of Gabriel Martinelli. One of them, if not both of them, in order to bring in either Rodrigo, Rafa Leao, or Nico Williams. Now, this is what I'm going to say. In terms of how easy the deals are, I think the Nico Williams deal is a little bit difficult. But the Rodrigo deal and the Rafa Leao deal are quite expensive. So you have deals like Semenyo and deals like Anthony Gordon that might be a little bit easier and cheaper to do this summer. But this video is about if Mikel Arteta gets the players that he actually wants to sign this summer. And therefore, we've got to add Nico Williams to this team. So Nico Williams right there on the left wing. Mikel Arteta likes him. We know that much. And according to all outlets, he's one of the players that Arsenal are trying to sign badly this summer. We are dying to sign him this summer. So if you add Nico Williams to this team, this is how Arsenal could line up come next season. You could have in goal David Raya. You could have Julian Timber, Milos Kerkez as fullbacks, William Saliba and Gabriel at centre back, Zubimendi, Rice and Odegaard in the midfield, Saka, Gyökeres and Williams. And this team has every right to challenge for the Premier League. this team has got every ingredient to go out there and, you know, just show quality. The goalkeeper is quality, the defense is quality, the midfield is complete. If you look at all the players, they complement each other, and the attack is so much better. Gyökeres as a goal scorer, Nico Williams with his pace and creativity, and of course Saka doing what Saka does. I think Arsenal, the sky is the limit. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and I will definitely speak to you right in